my name's Hev. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Fallout 76 character creation. Just a very quick disclaimer, these are a little bit tricky to present due to the lack of sliders and such, so I've got to talk you through what I'm doing as I'm doing it, which can be a bit tricky, but I'll try my best and hopefully this will be easy enough to follow along with. Anyway, let's just jump right on into the creation. So we'll start with face 11, and I'm just going to hop into body quickly. Feel free to set this wherever you prefer, but I'm just going to move it a little bit more towards the middle. Then pressing X to go into face, we'll start with hairstyle. And we'll select Nuclear Breeze, but feel free to select whichever style you prefer as well. And then moving into hair color, let's select light brown. And I've moved down to eye color and we'll select blue hazy. And then we'll move down to eyebrow type and select thin arched. And we'll just hover over her forehead and select triangle for color. And I think we'll just leave her skin tone as is. We'll then move down to eye type and we'll select rested 2. I think we'll leave nose type as is at chiseled 2. Then we'll go down to mouth type and we'll select average 1. Okay, and then we'll hop back and go into extras and then makeup. Let's apply blush 1 in color 1. Let's reduce lip gloss down to 19%. We'll change lipstick color to color 17. Let's apply eyeliner 1 in color 1. Also eyeliner 5 in color 1. Eyeshadow 1 in color 1. Eyeshadow 2 in color 1. Lower eyeshadow 1 to color 1, and lower eyeshadow 2 in color 1. We can always change this later. So we'll accept, go into markings, and I'm just going to remove anything that's selected in here, but please feel free to apply anything that you like the look of. And then we'll come into blemishes and apply eye socket shade at 50%. Let's change lip color to color 11. We'll remove rough face, remove forehead scrapes, forehead rush, forehead cysts. Let's decrease cheek creases down to 7%. We'll then apply cheeks gaunt at 49%. We'll adjust eyes gaunt to 18%. And we'll increase red nose to 40%. Okay, and we'll accept for now. Again, we can always change it later. Then coming into damage, we'll apply scar left brow gash at 58% and also scar left brow small at 58%. And we'll just remove anything else that is selected here and then accept. We don't want anything in grime, so let's go back and go back into face and start sculpting. Starting with her forehead, using the left stick, we're going to bring that all the way down. And then we'll press left on the D-pad 5 times. We'll also press down on the D-pad 7 times. Moving across into temples using the left stick, we're going to make sure that is all the way down, and then we're going to give a decent flick toward the right, like that. And then we'll come across to eyebrows middle using the left stick, we're going to give a small flick down. And then we're going to hold left on the D-pad for as far as it will go. We'll also press up on the D-pad 4 times. And then we'll come across to eyebrows full and press R1 3 times. Also using the left stick, we're going to give a small flick upward. And then we'll move across to eyebrows outer. Using the left stick, we're going to give a small flick towards the right and also a very small flick upwards as well. Like that, barely noticeable. Okay, and then we'll move over to eyebrows inner. Using the left stick, we're going to give a good flick to the left. And then we'll quickly just pop back into eyebrows outer and press down on the D-pad 5 times. And then we'll move down to eyes and we're going to press L1 4 times. And then using the left stick, we're going to give a small-ish flick towards the right, like that, and also a very small flick down. We'll then press right on the D-pad just once, and up on the D-pad twice. Okay, moving on to eyelids top. we're going to give a small flick down using the left stick, and then a very tiny little flick to the right as well, like that, barely noticeable. Then we'll pop down to eyelids bottom using the left stick. We're going to give a small flick upward, and then we're going to make sure that we are all the way right as well. Next, we'll pop down to nose bridge, and the first thing I want to do is press L1 4 times. Then we want to make sure she's looking front on while we're in nose bridge. Using the left stick, we're going to push all the way up. And we do that front on because you can accidentally put it off center as well, so just be mindful of that. Okay, while we're in nose bridge still, I'm going to press up on the D-pad 3 times. And then we'll just make sure that we are all the way left using the D-pad, though it doesn't appear to be doing anything much. We'll then find nose full again, and then we'll press left on the D-pad 3 times. Okay, then finding nose tip, we are going to press left on the D-pad 3 times. We'll then take the left stick and give the tiniest little flick downward, like that. We'll then pop back up to nose bridge and press R1 twice. Back down to nose tip, we're going to press up on the D-pad twice. We'll then find nose full again and press down on the D-pad just once. Then we'll move on to nostrils using the left stick. I'm going to give the tiniest little flick down, like that, barely noticeable. We'll then make sure that left on the D-pad is all the way set. And we'll then press up on the D-pad 4 times. Moving on from her nose, let's go down to mouth full. We'll start by pressing right on the D-pad twice. And then using the left stick, we're going to move the tiniest little bit upwards, like that, just a tiny bit. And then we'll press down on the D-pad twice. We then want to find mouth corners and start by pressing L1 3 times. Then using the left stick, we're going to give a very small flick to the right. And we'll also press up on the D-pad just once. We'll then select mouth top, and using the left stick, we'll give a small flick upward. And then coming into mouth bottom, using the left stick, we're going to give a good flick upward. Enough movement so that her bottom lip doesn't have that divot in it. Once we have that, we'll press right on the D-pad 4 times. We will also press up on the D-pad 4 times as well. Okay, so this part is really up to you, but we'll come back into mouth corners, and using the left stick, we can either leave it as it is, we can give a small movement upward, or we can give a small movement downward, and it kind of changes the expression on her face. I'm going to leave it downward though. So now we'll move on to the outer portions of her face, starting with her ears full. We're going to press left on the D-pad twice, followed by L1 twice. Then using the left stick, we're going to give a very small flick upward. And we'll also press down on the D-pad 3 times. And then we'll pop down to neck, and we'll hold up on the D-pad as far as it will go before pressing down on the D-pad 3 times. Let's find cheekbones back. Using the left stick, we're going to make sure that is all the way up. And we're also going to give the tiniest little flick towards the right, just like that, barely noticeable. We'll then move across to cheekbones. Using the left stick, we're going to give the tiniest little flick up, and then a very tiny flick towards the right as well, like that. And then we'll press right on the D-pad 5 times. And we'll also hold down on the D-pad as far as it will go, and then press up on the D-pad just once. Okay, then coming down to cheeks, using the left stick, we're going to make sure that is all the way up. And we're also going to give the tiniest little flick to the right using the left stick. Like that. Not very much movement at all. We will also press left on the D-pad 3 times. Coming across to jowls lower, using the left stick, we're going to give the tiniest little flick to the left. And we are also going to move the left stick up just a fraction, like that. Barely touch it. And then we'll press up on the D-pad 5 times. And then we'll move up to jowls upper. Using the left stick, we're going to give the tiniest flick to the left. and then we'll press up on the D-pad 3 times. And then hopping down to draw outer using the left stick, we're going to give a good flick upwards, like that. We'll then press down on the D-pad twice. We'll also press right on the D-pad twice as well. We'll then hop across to draw middle and hold down on the D-pad as far as it will go. And then we'll take the left stick and move it a fraction to the right, like that. We'll then select chin and start by pressing right on the D-pad twice. Okay, then we'll pop back up to mouth full, and using the left stick we're going to give a very small flick down, like that. We'll then move back up to nose full and press left on the D-pad twice. Back into nose tip and press left on the D-pad twice. Then we'll pop back into nostrils and press right on the D-pad 4 times. Coming back up to nose bridge, we'll press up on the D-pad 3 times. We'll come back to eyebrows inner and press up on the D-pad twice. Then we'll go back to eyes and press L1 as far as it will go. Okay, in eyes we're going to press down on the D-pad 3 times. And then we'll pop back down to mouth bottom. I can still see a bit of a divot in her lower lip, so using the left stick I'm going to give another small flick upward. And then we'll find face lower and press up on the D-pad just once. Okay, now coming back to jaw outer, using the left stick, the tiniest little movement to the right. Like that. Okay, coming back to nose tip, going to press R1 just once. And I think I like how she looks in the vault, but let's take her outside and we'll see if any tweaking needs doing. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I've just brought her outside, and the first thing I noticed that I would like to change is to go back into eyes and then press up on the D-pad 3 times. Then going to pop back down to cheekbones and press down on the D-pad as far as it will go. And then while in cheekbones, using the left stick, I'm going to give the tiniest little movement to the right, like that. I also think we'll pop back into eyes and using the left stick, give the tiniest little movement downward, like that, just tiny. Also want to pop back down to mouth bottom and press up on the D-pad 3 times. And find face lower again and press up on the D-pad just once. And I think I'm pretty happy with her. I think she looks quite nice outside in the daylight. Please let me know what you think as well. And please make any further tweaks that you feel would create her more to suit your preferences as well. I hope you found this tutorial easy enough to follow along with. Please leave your feedback in the comments if you have any. Also, if you did enjoy today's video, remember to give it a thumbs up. It helps to support the channel and lets me know that I'm on the right track with these videos. Also, if you'd like to see more character creations, please subscribe to the channel. I upload new ones each week. Thank you so much for watching and happy creating! Hi everyone, my name's Hev. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you'd like to see more character creations, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel.